Well, we're here again with another Back to Basics episode. This should be fun. Ooh, standard form. Standard form is just the way numbers are supposed to be written out. So, what do I do if I give you something in scientific notation and ask you to write it out in standard form? Well, I take that guy right there, the 7, and I write it out. Oh, yep, 7. Normally, for 7, the decimal will be right after it. So, 7 point. Now, when I'm taking a number and writing it in standard form, whatever that exponent is, I move it either to the left or to the right that many times. It's a positive exponent, so I'm going to move it to the right 7 times. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and put my new dot there. Any space that I leave, I fill with the 0. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I have a cat named Zero. I hope she's not around here. She'll be like, yes, yes, yes. My new decimal's at the end. And if my decimal's at the end, all the way to the right, I don't need it. So I'm going to have 7 with a 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And if you want to put commas for every 3 zeros moving from the right, it's not a bad idea. So let's do it again. I'm going to put an 8 there. Normally my dot would go after the 8. And I'm going to move negative 3 spaces, which means I'm going to move to the left 3 spaces. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, put a dot. I have 2 spaces where I can put zeros in, so 0, 0. And what I end up with is 0.008. Now remember what I said, if your dot's all the way to the right, you don't need it. However, if your dot's all the way to the left, you do need it because it's a decimal. Small number. Let's write out a 5. Let's put a dot right after it. My exponent is positive 2. Let's go to the right 1, 2 times. Let's put 2 zeros in there, and I have myself a full 500. All right. Just sitting here marveling at my own work when I could just move on. Let's do it again. The decimal's there for us. Life is easy. 2.7. That negative 4 right there means I move it to the left 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Put a dot. Fill in 1, 2, 3 zeros. So I end up with 0.12327. Now I'm going to put my 3.85 way the heck over here because my exponent is negative 8, which means I'm moving to the left 8 spaces. So let's do that. Go from your decimal and move to the left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even though I wrote my number over there, it's still not going to be quite enough space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0. So I have point. 385. Now, that's what I call a small number. See, the scientific notations with the negative exponents are going to give you really small numbers. The scientific notations with the positive exponents, like that guy, is going to give you big numbers, a number over 10. So I have 9.725, and I'm going to move to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces because it's a positive exponent, and that makes my number big. Big number with positive exponent, and I end up with 9,725,000. That's it. 3 zeros. Oh, the amount of money I made this year. Just kidding. Half of that. I made about half of that. Okay, that's how I take standard form. I'm sorry, that's how I take scientific notation and put it in standard form. What if I give you standard form and I want to put it in scientific notation? It's the reverse, 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 reverse. First things first, I have to determine where my decimal goes. My decimal goes in between the 3 and the 2. Remember, scientific notation, the number you want has to be one digit, and you can have whatever many decimals you want after it, but it's got to be a digit point something. 1 point something all the way up to 9.9999999. You can't have 0 point something. You can't have 10 point something. 0 point something is too small. 10 point something is too big. So you need to have it in this case as 3 point something, and we have 3.21. So I'm going to write that out. I know it's going to be times 10 to the. Is it going to be positive or negative? Well, look at my number. Is my number bigger than 10 or is it smaller than 1? Is it a big number or a small number? The number that I started out with is a pretty big number, so it's going to be a positive exponent. So when I move to the right, however many spaces I need to get to the very end, that's going to determine what my exponent is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's my exponent. Where do I put my decimal? In between the 5 and the 4. If I put it in between the 4 and the 3, 54.3 would be too big. If I put it in front, 0.5 would be too small. So I have 5.43. Notice how I'm not putting 0. Once you hit the zeros, you're done. So I have 5.43 times 10 to the. Is it going to be a positive or negative exponent? It's going to be positive because my original number is big. It's bigger than 10. And I have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get to the end. Well, to get to the other decimal, I guess I should say. Where should my decimal go here? Between the 2 and the 1. 2.1 times 10 to the. Is my exponent going to be positive or negative? It's going to be negative this time because the original number is a small number less than 1. So how many spaces do I move to get from one dot to the next? 1, 2, 3. There you have it. There you have it. One more, I think. One more slide, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where do I put my decimal? In between the 1 and the 0, of course. Now be careful. Remember in a previous problem I said, once you hit the zeros, you're done. Well, I still have a number after my first 0. So I have 1.07 and then nothing but zeros. If you have nothing but zeros after it, then you're done writing out your number. I know it's times 10 to the something. I know my original number is big, so it's going to be 10 to the positive exponent. I know I have to go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so it becomes 10 to the 7th power. Where does my decimal go here? In between nothing. It goes after the 4. You see, if I were to put it before the 4, if I were to say 0.4 times 10 to the, that's too small for scientific notation. So this is just going to be 4.0, or just 4 times 10 to the negative. Now, why negative? Look at the original number. It's small. It's less than 1, so it's going to have a negative exponent. Negative what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where does my decimal go here for this last problem? In between the 6 and the 2. So I have 6.25 times 10 to the negative. Why negative? That's an awfully small number. Very small. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that, my boys and girls, my dear friends, is scientific notation. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. All right. Bye.